Langenbrunner. Number 6 is Landon. He plays left wing. And his brother is playing defense. Mason Langenbrunner wears number 4. They're brothers. Going the other direction, we have 2 Latch. They're not brothers, but it's pronounced the same. I'll do my best to use first names as we describe those players throughout today's game.
When you've got the Langenbrunners, of course their father, Jeremy Langenbrunner, Stanley Cup champion with the New Jersey Devils.
Jamie Langenbrunner also going to join me this winter doing color commentary for a Cloquet game, but that's a different story. We'll get back to the action.
Boy, great start there for the North team. Took advantage of their first scoring chance, buried one. This is the start they wanted.
Ricky Lyle gets denied as he gets to the blue line, back on retreat. This is Cochran. Cochran, stretch pass out to Lyle. Lyle tips this one on goal. It's steered aside by goaltender Drew Comisio. Drew is in goal today for the NTDP. Looking down on the other side, we have Carter Clafton.
John, I really like the way the North team's moving the puck. They're getting it. They're moving it fast. They're staying at this pace with Team USA. Real impressed with the start they've got going so far.
Thomas Bordelot steps into the face-off circle. Near side is Chase Yoder. They both list addresses of Texas. Yoder's from the Dallas area, Bordelot from Houston.
Team USA with a little pushback after that goal by Team North. Won the face-off, coming in, pushing back.
Big shot there from Luke Tuck. The rebound kicks out all the way to the other end. Tuck has a brother that plays for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, connections all over the United States for Team USA.
Breaking out near wall, unable to get through. It's taken by Tuck, and Tuck hits Bordelot. Dumped down. Yoder now plays down behind the goal. Puck comes to the point. Faber, one of the Minnesotans wearing the Stars and Stripes today. He's from Maple Grove, Minnesota.
Maple Grove, great youth hockey community, turning out great hockey players up there. Big numbers. Expect to see plenty of kids from that community in the Elite League and with Team USA in the future.
Gavin Rasmussen draws the minor penalty. Bordelot goes off. I believe it's going to be a trip. You can join us between periods. Gavin Rasmussen is our guest between periods 2 and 3. Player profile of Rasmussen.
John, this will be interesting to see how Team North sets here. You've got Ryder Donovan, Blake Biondi, 2 of the leading scorers in the Elite League here.
Right side is Kester on the point. To the near side, which is Mason Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner sets up on the blue line. Half wall is Biondi. Down to Donovan. This one kicks back to the point. Kester with a snapper. This hits some traffic and kicks out to the corner. He's going to keep it in at the blue line, however. Surveys the situation, fakes the shot. Over to Mason. Mason gets to the top of the circle. Snapper. This one is covered up by Drew Comisio. One thing I want to talk about, Mark, the power play line right now, Landon Langenbrunner, Blake Biondi, Ryder Donovan. We'll get to the others as the game goes on, but Biondi's interesting. Leads this league in goals and turned down an invite to be wearing white today. He had an opportunity to move to Michigan and be a part of this team.
Absolutely. He's a fantastic player. He's more than a goal-a-game player out here, showing just exactly how good he is. His stock continues to rise.
Had an opportunity to speak with Landon Langenbrunner about 2 weeks ago. He said the Elite League is fun for him. He said, all I do is set up Biondi. He likes getting that assist total padded because Biondi's bearing just about everything. He's the leading goal scorer in the Upper Midwest High School Elite League.
No doubt. I mean, great players getting the opportunity to play with other great Minnesota players.
Kester through the neutral zone. They still have 1 minute to go in this man advantage. Still have 1 minute to go. Down along into the corner. It's a strong forecheck from Pino Nemi. They work it out to the point for a shot, and it's deflected aside. Gotts is on the right point. He's committed to the University of Minnesota Duluth. He won't have to go too far from home. He lives in Hermantown.
No, he'll be staying right in the neighborhood, doing great things for the Bulldogs up there.
Owen Gallatin, he's from White Bear Lake, passes it to the player coming off the bench. Missing a number here. Oh, it's Jake Sanderson on my line chart. Oh, my apologies, 49. Can't read the number from here. Hunter Strand. We'll talk more about him as the game goes on.
Yeah, about 17 seconds left to go here. A nice job on the kill by Team USA. We've got Matt Gleason back out there dogging him.
Gallatin plays it to the near wall, coming up in our direction. They work through Yoder, over to Strand. Strand, snapper. This one hits a stick and goes just wide. Powell keeps it in on the point. Strand goes on a guitar solo and plays it over to the aforementioned Gallatin. Gallatin, Bordelot, boom goes the dynamite. We're tied at 1.
Wow. No doubt with the skill out here. Quick strike by Team USA. Big kill, built some momentum, pushing back.
I announce a lot of hockey games, and I talk about what I call the hangover after the power play. Usually a team is shorthanded for a spell, and then they get the player back, but it takes a while before they're able to get everybody in position, so I call that the hangover. Here we had no hangover at all. As soon as the penalty expired, a little bit of open space, and boom, it's into the back of the net. We're tied.
Yeah, first great scoring chance for Team USA, and they bury it.
Ricky Lyle enters the zone, takes it down to the end wall, fights a battle. This is Latch. As I mentioned before, Daniel Latch plays defense for Stars and Stripes. Tanner Latch is the forward. Out to the neutral zone, Bordelot. He's got 1 goal. He's looking to add to that. Pushes it down. It's Pierce that gets there first. Rides him off the puck. Breakout pass doesn't quite connect. Down into the corner. It's Tanner Latch. Both Latch out there for Team USA right now. Rink-wide pass hits Lyle. He takes his time through the neutral zone, looking for some help from his line mates. Throws it down to the end wall, and he fights a battle, wins against the goaltender, and USA able to break it out before something bad happens.
Yeah, Ricky Lyle, great two-way hockey player, 200-foot hockey player, has done real well here in the Elite League this fall.
In case you just joined us, this is John Conley. It's 6 minutes, 16 seconds into the game. Mark Mackesy joining me on color. Upper Midwest High School Elite League action as they face Team USA. I want to thank everybody for tuning into today's game.
Yeah, this is exciting. Obviously, it's a big day for these kids. The best 16, 17, and 18-year-olds in the state of Minnesota play in this league. This is a game that they all strive for to play in. No doubt we're going to see a great effort here.
Clevin played to Faber. Faber enters the zone, and USA trying to set up their forecheck. They work along the corner battles and kick it out a little bit forward. This is Dylan Peterson. Dylan Peterson plays back to Clevin. Clevin keeps it in at the blue line. Nice evasive move there on defense. A good play there. Is that middle? I'm sorry, it's Kester. Kester, slow pass, hits his intended target, Jeanette. Jeanette gains the blue line but loses the puck. Clevin in pursuit, and it's a big hit. Down goes Moore.
Wow, here we go. We've got physical play starting to pick up a little bit. I think both these teams have kind of figured out where they're at, line matchups, and what the other team could do. I expect to see a little bit more of that as we go on.
Penalty upcoming. I'm guessing it's the tall guy elbowing penalty. He rocked him. We're running a 4-man crew, 2 referees, 2 linesmen. Mark, I didn't see the signal. I'm guessing an elbow.
I believe it was.
Langenbrunner into the faceoff circle. This is Landon. It's a stalemate faceoff. Eventually it's into his feet, and it's grabbed by Landon to the point, but Smolonic ends up picking that off. And on the short-handed rush is Team USA. They turn it over. Landon with a rink-wide pass, just a tiny bit too far. Donovan coming in, and the goaltender, Drew Comasio, gets the cover. Face-off will come to his left. Just 20 seconds elapsed in the minor penalty.
Donovan just showing great speed there. Big guy with excellent wheels, breakaway speed. Guy, prototypical power forward, and a guy whose game is going to translate very well to the next level.
I couldn't agree more. As I see Ryder Donovan, he's a great high school player, even better college player. I think he's going to be his best when he gets to the NHL. There just aren't many 6'4" guys that skate as well as he does in the world, and he really projects to have a very, very high ceiling.
He sure does. He's a B prospect on the Central Scouting list, which puts him at around the 2nd or 3rd round right now.
Shot comes in from Chase Yoder. This one saved by Clafton. 40 seconds have now elapsed in the penalty. In the last 20 seconds, Team USA has gotten out of their zone and forced a face-off down to our right in front of goaltender Clafton.
So we've got that second power play unit coming out here with Gleason, Pinonimi, and Middlestad. Look for those guys to do something.
They do lose the draw, however. Eventually they get the puck over to Middlestad. Middlestad through the neutral zone to Pinonimi. Pinonimi buys some time and takes it down into the corner. Circles behind Gretzky's office and comes out on the near side. Loses the puck, however, and it's broken out very nicely by the Stars and Stripes. Strand throws it down to the goal. It looks like it's covered up by Clafton. We'll get a face-off coming out in front of him. So, Mark, it's a 2-minute minor. 20 seconds, there was a face-off down in front of goaltender Comasio. Another 20, we had a face-off in front of Clafton. Another 20, the face-offs in front of Clafton. you can see USA has not allowed the Team North into their zone much, even though they're a man down.
Yeah, they've done a great job of really kind of neutralizing Team North's puck possession in the offensive zone on the power play here.
Kester manages to gain the zone. This is over to Gleason. Gleason was the goal scorer earlier. Payne on the point. His shot is faked, and he plays it in the direction of Middlestat. This is not Casey Middlestat. He plays for the Buffalo Sabres, but his younger brother, two of them in the high school elite league.
Yep.
And this is it John?
Yeah, this is John. Both excellent players. We've got a forward and defenseman. Both of them play on the Southeast team for Sean Toomey. They'll both be stars this year for Eden Prairie High School.
And a lot of talk about his brother as well, who's a 10th grade defender, considered one of the higher level players out of the 2003 birth year in all of the country.
Oh, he's just an excellent prospect.
3 seconds left to go in the penalty. We get a stoppage of play. They're going to send off Gleason. Gleason goes off. We'll play 4-on-4 for the next 3 seconds. At that point, it's going to be a Team USA penalty. We haven't seen the Stars and Stripes yet with the man advantage.
No, we haven't seen the Stars and Stripes with the man advantage. It'll be interesting to see, how they set up. Typically very good puck movement.
So 4-on-4, we have Smilanic and Beniers. I first saw Matty Beniers back in Mites, and he was the best skater in the game when I saw him at age 7 or 8. Here it is, you really have to pull together the best kids in all of the country in order to find people that can play at his level. Beniers out there, he's with Smilanic. First heard about him, a great player out of Colorado back when he was in Mites. It's been interesting watching these kids as they progress and which ones ultimately get the invite to play in Michigan.
No doubt. These guys all take different paths, many of them with a goal to play for this U17 team.
A couple seconds roll off that power play, and we get another penalty. This one goes against Smilanic. We're going to skate 4-on-4 for the next minute 45, barring any stoppages. Down into the corner, we have a scrum. Eventually the puck pops out, and it's onto the stick of Matty Beniers. Beniers goes with a slow roller in the corner, but loses possession. It bounces right back to him. Beniers, Latch, looking for that skate deflection, and Beniers shoots this one just wide on the rebound. Very nice, smart play there. That's how more and more goals are scored at higher levels. You're not just going to blow it flat by the goalie.
Oh, absolutely not. And especially the goalies in this league. Clafton's running at about a 90% save percentage. Just doing an excellent job for this North team this year.
Pert is an interesting one. I believe he's the youngest player in all of the Elite League, one of the few 2003 born players. He's paired with Kester. Peart is already committed to St. Cloud State before he's even played a game for Grand Rapids High School.
Yeah, he's a real bright future for him as well. Another one of those great defensemen that's coming out of northern Minnesota.
Gotts passes it up in front of the benches, and big hit there. Pierce bodying up with the Stars and Stripes defender. Here comes Peterson. Dylan Peterson down into the corner. Fights a battle with Kester. Kester's much smaller, but he comes out momentarily with the puck. That's Mason Langenbrunner working a little D-to-D action. 20 seconds left to go in this 4-on-4. USA is going to be shorthanded for the next 7, and then both teams will skate 5-on-5. It's been a little frenetic here in the middle of the first period.
It has been a little bit. Maybe a few more penalties than we would have expected, which has kind of gotten both teams out of their flow a bit. So it'll be interesting to see how this game progresses when we get back to that 5-on-5.
2-on-1, Moore had a rushing Mason Langenbrunner. Couldn't quite complete that pass. Mason Langenbrunner goes D-to-D to Cochran. Cochran snapper looking for the tip. He gets it, but it's steered aside by that leg pad of Drew Comasio. He's from Norwell, Massachusetts.
Really impressed the way Blake Biondi's getting after out here. Big kid using his size, going hard to the net.
Both teams are now full strength. It's a neutral zone turnover. Cochran dumps it in. Clevin gets it on his stick. And stretch pass. This one comes in a little bit too high. Danny Janiev, I think I pronounced that right. He's got a different name in our household from the time he came down to the Memorial Day tournament in Florida. Danny just took over the game in the third period, and one of the most fun players I've seen in all of youth hockey. He is just listed at 5'4", 125 pounds, playing on the national team for U17, Mark, it's only a year from now, this team's expected to go face college teams.
Yeah, I mean, the game is becoming so fast, and it's such a skill game that size isn't as big a factor as it was several years ago.
Interesting about those college games, the Gophers have left Minnesota. Today they face the 2001, the U18 team. And last night, that U8 team, they whipped up on University of Michigan in Ann Arbor.
They did. They got a great test from the Gophers today. The Gophers, many of their players have come through the Elite League and done great things here before going on to the University of Minnesota.
Smolonic takes a shot, but it's deflected by Gotts. Goes up into the netting at the very last moment. Nice play there defensively by Gotts.
So it'll be interesting to see, like I said, when we get back to this 5-on-5, how this game kind of opens up. Are we going to see a little more physical play coming from the North team, or is this going to be a track meet like some of these turn into?
Thomas Bordelot steps into the faceoff circle, wins the draw cleanly back to Owen Gallatin. Puck gets deflected, and it's a breakout opportunity for North. A couple quick passes, and they get it over to the stick of Landon Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner, he's uncommitted. One of the things you and I were talking about in the game prep for this is just how many great players in the Elite League have yet to give a college commitment. And some of them we know have offers, they just haven't chosen. Landon Langenbrunner, top line forward today, yet to commit, and he's a high school senior.
Absolutely, great player. Landon, Matt Gleason, Rasmussen, more among them.
It's fun to watch these kids as they progress through the Minnesota model. We got Teddy Lagerbach in the house. Teddy's playing tomorrow. He's got a Southwest game against this very NTDP. Teddy's a great player out of Holy Family, or Minnetonka High, that scored the biggest goal in school history as they managed to get past Holy Family. Yeah. You got all the celebrities here, Mark.
Yeah, Ted had a great year last year, great state tournament, committed to Arizona State University.
Entering the zone, this is Brett Berard. Plays it over rink wide. Bordelot seems to have the puck on his stick a lot every time he hits the ice.
Real skilled player.
Draws a penalty. Goaltender made it to the net, and they've already got the attacker out. Seems like normally as soon as the goalie gets to the bench, you get the change in possession. But here, USA able to set up some 6-on-5 time before the Elite League can gain possession, and there they have it with Anderson getting it onto his stick.
Yeah, we're at a big spot in the game here. We've kind of traded penalties. Now it looks like Team USA is going to get an opportunity to go full on for 2 minutes.
6 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the period. Pierce goes off. USA, Stars and Stripes, they go on the power play. We'll get you the personnel. It's Danny Zhaniev out there with Tanner Latch and Chase Yoder. Defense, Connor Kelly, first time we've called his name today. He's from Maple Grove, not too terribly far from here. And number 55 is Jacob Truscott.
It's a great opportunity for Connor Kelly to come back home and play in front of friends and family.
Shot from Danny, gets steered aside. Danny down into the corner. Coming off the half wall. Plays Truscott after a little deliberation. Two-man game, back to Danny. Danny into the center spot, and shot from Yoder hits a leg pad and goes out to the corner. They're working the perimeter, get it back to the point. Truscott fakes the shot and comes in with a low-angle shot looking for the tip. Unable to clear the zone, it's to the blue line, not out.
Team USA with good puck movement here. Trying to get a little traffic in front of the net. Post a big man up and see if they can't get a dirty one.
Kelly to Yoder. Yoder's shot goes just wide. Still 70 seconds remaining in this man advantage. Still 70 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Big dump there for Team North. Rise off, fresh legs on.
Rasmussen gets the puck down to the end wall, and both teams go for the fresh 4 in the case of the yellow and fresh 5 in the case of the Stars and Stripes. Still have 50 seconds to go in this man advantage. Powell plays a neutral zone pass, but runs into some static. Good job jamming the neutral zone there by Gleason. The pregame thoughts, we got a few comments from Sean Toomey earlier. He was telling us how important it is to really control that neutral zone and not let them fly up ice.
No doubt. I mean, a quick team, a skilled team, a team that loves to play up-tempo. Slowing it down through the neutral zone, whether you're full strength or shorthand, is mission critical here today for Team North.
It's been a great kill so far. 20 seconds to go. Bordelot with the shot. This one steered aside by Clafton. It goes to the corner.
So far, Clafton looks real comfortable in there. That first one that got by him, he didn't have much of a chance on. It was just a grade A scoring opportunity. The guy buried, but he's responded well.
Sanderson with the shot. No cover. Clafton made the save on Sanderson's shot, but unable to get the cover. Play continues. They had a second crack at it there and nearly buried the rebound.
Big kill there for Team North. Let's see if they can get back to 5-on-5 and the momentum.
Pert D to Cochran in the stretch pass. A little bit too far. Winds up onto the stick of Camasio, who throws it behind the net. Heading the other direction is Tuck. Tuck, drop pass to Strand. Nice pass right in the middle of the board low, just beyond his outstretched stick. We're still tied at 1.
Yeah, nice job there. Game's starting to open up a little bit here, John.
Biondi plays it up ahead to Pinonini. Pinonini's a kid that has a reputation as a great line mate. It's easy to get a lot of points if you play with Pinonini because he's a great setup guy.
Yeah, real skilled guy, headed to the University of Minnesota.
It's interesting. He had a college commitment as a 9th grader to St. Cloud State University. And as people in these parts know, there have been some coaching changes in this area. Bob Moscow goes to the University of Minnesota. Garrett Pinonimi flips his commit.
Absolutely, following Bob Moscow to the Golden Gophers.
Beniers enters the zone, takes it down into the corner, and his pass doesn't connect. Hits a skate and bounds out to the neutral zone. It's played by Kelly. Kelly surveys the situation. He's going to choose the safe option here, which is Clevin. As I mentioned earlier, this is Tyler Clevin. I interviewed Kyler Clevin recently. He said they're no relation, one being from Fargo, one being from Morris. He said, I know him really well and have skated with him a bunch over the years.
I'm sure up there those guys are, friendly rivals all the way.
Bounces over the stick of Gotts. He's on retreat. He's got Payne as the safety outlet. Payne takes this pass, gets his head up, and plays over to Anderson on the near wall. This one comes over to Gotts. Gotts rushing, gets down to the end wall. Defenseman down along the end boards. What do you think, Mark?
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, there's so many skilled players in the Upper Midwest Elite League. There's so many defensemen that can take it and go and jump in the rush, and that's obviously part of the game out here.
Payne takes out the feet, and it winds up being a tripping call. Down goes Dylan Peterson, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. This gives a power play. And the clock's actually synced up. 2 minutes will go on the board for the trip. 2 minutes left in the first period.
Yeah, so let's see if Team North can go back-to-back on the kills. Again, another big one, big spot in the game right here.
So, Mark, we've got some good content, some entertainment between periods. You can hear about Upper Midwest High School Elite League training camp that was held over Labor Day weekend. We've got a real nice interview from Executive Director Glenn Andreessen from Minnesota Hockey. Minnesota Hockey's a very large, strong district in USA Hockey, and Glenn Andreessen joined me yesterday. Interesting venue. We were on the ice at XL Energy Center where the Wild play.
Special opportunity to get out there. I'm sure Glenn really enjoyed it.
And then our last interview is Ryder Donovan. That's our between-period content from period 1 to 2, so make sure you stick around when we go to period break. Still 90 seconds to go in this period. Faber on the power play with a snapshot that hits the end wall. In case you just joined us, Matthew Gleason put North on the board early. Answering right back was, I believe it was Thomas Bordelot. We're tied at 1. 75 seconds remaining in the period. 75 seconds remains in this man advantage for the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, and this one, it still remains to be seen which team is ultimately going to get to their game here. It's, a lot of counterpunching so far.
Faber gains the red line, chips it up ahead to Dylan Peterson. Peterson gains the zone and fights the battle, trying to protect that puck. He's battling against Gleason. Gleason hounding him. This one off the side of the goal, bounces out into the slot. The first jersey to arrive is a yellow jersey, and countering the other way, this is Middlestadt.
And Matt Gleason down there on the kill. The guy plays with a relentless pursuit out here.
Clevin takes it behind his goal. We're down to just 35 seconds remaining, Mark. There's been a couple penalties on Team North. I think they've done an outstanding job with the penalty kill.
Well, they sure have. And I mean, obviously, specialty teams plays an important part of every game, and especially out here today with this skilled U.S. team.
We're down to 20 seconds remaining. If they can get possession one more time and dump it, that should do it. USA trying to set something up and get one last shot before we go to period break. Oh, it hits a skate boot, kicks out to the neutral zone. Bad bounce there for Latch. Daniel Latch had to go retrieve it. We're down to 3-2-1. And that's how it's going to end, folks. It is 1-1, end of the first period. Mark Mackesy doing a great job on commentary. I'm John Connolly here announcing the game for the Upper Midwest High School Elite League. Going to kick it over to our producer, Joe Henches. He's got some between-period content he's going to play, and we will be right back in about 15 minutes. Enjoy the break with Period 2 action.
Welcome back to hockey.
Hi, I'm Pat Keller, Executive Director at USA Hockey, and this is one of the best times of the year with everybody getting back into the rinks. Please join us in celebrating the start of a new season.
Let's get started!
There's nothing better than lacing up the skates for the first time to start a new year, fresh year, and to get off on a good note.
Even after winning the gold medal last year at the 2018 Paralympics, I'm still very excited to get started this year, especially with some of my teammates from the USA.
Played a lot of golf this summer. It's time to get back on the ice.
Just want to say good luck to the coaches, the players, the officials, and all the families that are involved with hockey.
Let's make this the best season yet.
It's time to drop the puck.
Super Rink, training camp home for the 2018 Upper Midwest High School Elite League. Teams filed in to collect their all-black pants, gloves, and helmets. Upon finding the right fit, players were checked in and introduced to their coaches. Most of day one of training camp will consist of practices and evaluations. The fine folks at Map North will provide the backdrop and staff needed to do both the on and off-ice evaluation. Speed was the name of the game for the on-ice evaluations as players were timed at everything they did. Strength and agility are the focus for the off-ice testing, with speed thrown in for good measure. Players were tested for their vertical and broad jumps, time for speed and agility, clocked in a 20-yard dash, and did as many reps as they could at 155 pounds on the bench press. Testing complete, it was time for practice. Not much you could do systems-wise in a couple of hours of ice, so it was a lot of flow and compete drills. Day 2 was kicked off with breakfast for our outstate players staying in the dorms. Tanks full and was back to the rink for some early morning scrimmages. League Director Bo Snuggerud spoke with everyone before introducing magician and mentalist Noah Sani, who gave a performance players, coaches, and staff are still talking about. Next, it was time to take off your shoes and empty your pockets, as NHL Central Scouting was on hand to do official heights and weights. It's not official unless it's NHL Central Scouting official. After being weighed and measured, it was time to put on your uppers and sit for player profile photos. Team photos would come next, followed by more scrimmages. For a complete season schedule or to keep up on all Elite League action, visit our website at hselitehockey.com. The Schwann Super Rink, training camp home for the 2018 Upper Midwest High School Elite League. Teams filed in to collect their all-black pants, gloves, and helmets. Upon finding the right fit, players were checked in and introduced to their coaches. Most of day one of training camp will consist of practices and evaluations. The fine folks at Map North will provide the backdrop and staff needed to do both the on and off-ice evaluation. Speed was the name of the game for the on-ice evaluations as players were timed at everything they did. Strength and agility are the focus for the off-ice testing, with speed thrown in for good measure. Players were tested for their vertical and broad jumps, time for speed and agility, clocked in a 20-yard dash, and did as many reps as they could at 155 pounds on the bench press. Testing complete, it was time for practice. Not much you could do systems-wise in a couple of hours of ice, so it was a lot of flow and compete drills.
I'm John Connolly, and I'm here with John Montague. Real exciting stuff going on, John. Why don't you tell us who you are, a little bit about yourself?
My name is John Montague, and I'm a resident right here in the Twin Cities. Grew up out on the west side in Wayzata, and I'm now playing men's league with the Hockey Finder boys, and coach a little youth hockey in Edina too.
That's great, and I understand that's not everything about you because you've got an exciting project going on, and it involves a hockey film. So whenever I think of hockey films, I just keep thinking about my favorites, and let's talk about the Mount Rushmore of hockey films, if you will. I don't really care for Slapshot I'm going to put on there because I don't want people to complain that I left it off. I think Youngblood is the best hockey movie, and I am a huge fan for Mighty Ducks and
from kind of different directions, because I think I'd say Slapshot probably an all-time classic.
Yeah,
I'd put Miracle probably right behind that as one of the great sports events in history told on the big screen. I'm not such a big fan of Mighty Ducks. I think interesting stories, fun, kind of Disney stuff, but I don't know if the hockey in that is what I'd put up there at Mount Rushmore. I think Youngblood is great, very genuine, authentic story, and
so there you have it.
I'll leave it at that.
We've both got 3, and there's room for one more. So no Hockey Mom, no Red Army, Mystery Alaska. Some of these things, like you said, good movies, but not quite in either of our Mount Rushmore. So that leaves a void. So let's talk about that void. And if only there were somebody, if only somebody was trying to fill it.
I think it would be a really good idea to make a great family-friendly hockey movie.
So give me an example of maybe what family-friendly and other sport genres might be, and where you're trying with the movie Way of the Warriors to work.
Sure. I think that Way of the Warriors is a film that's kind of coming from the same idea of a Hoosiers, the way that it told the story of high school basketball in Indiana. I think Friday Night Lights, the way that story told, football, high school football in Texas. We've got an amazing tradition here in Minnesota, high school hockey, and we wanted to tell that story.
That's great. And who are you? You have a great idea, great concept. There's a void that needs to be filled. We all need one more great hockey movie at least to fill Mount Rushmore. And you have a background in script writing and trying to, tell a great story. So tell us a little bit about that and how you've landed on hockey.
Well, I'm just another screenwriter, filmmaker that fell in love with films when I was 12 years old, and I've been writing and making small independent films my whole life. I've been fortunate as an adult. My first script was a golf script that I sold to Jack Lemon's company, collaborated with Jack. My second script that I sold was to Ben Kingsley and his company. So I've collaborated with 2 Academy Award-winning actors as a screenwriter. But the frustrating part about that was these companies have had my screenplays and they've had the option on them, but neither one of the films has been made to date. So I don't do this to make money. I do this because I feel like I have inspirational stories to tell, and I want to see them, come alive on the big screen. So, this is just taking 2 things that I love, film and screenwriting and hockey, and bringing them together.
We're going to talk a little bit more, and you can watch that tomorrow, but let's wrap up today and have you point people to learn more about the project, the Indiegogo, the crowdfunding, and where can somebody go if they want to be a part of the making of Way of the Warriors?
Yeah. Well, thanks, John. I would invite everybody out there that cares about hockey and wants to learn more. Our website is wayofthewarriorsfilm.com. And from wayofthewarriorsfilm.com, you'll be able to find links to our crowdfunding page on Indiegogo.com. You'll be able to get a link to our YouTube channel that has all of our videos, including our trailer. And you'll also see a lot of other cool things like the original music that we've been recording for the film, and I hope that everybody that goes to the website gets as excited as we are about making a great high school hockey film that's going to tell the story of Minnesota.
So that address one more time is Way of the Warriors with an S film.com, and there they can see all of the things you mentioned, as well as click on a link to the Indiegogo if they'd like to be a part of Way of the Warriors.
Yes.
All right. Great. John Connolly, you're with John Montague. Thanks for your time.
My name is Ryder Donovan. I'm from Duluth East. I play hockey. When I was like 5, I hated hockey. And then, my parents tried to get me in skates. There were 4. And then the winter, when I was 5, that was kind of when I just took off. That's when I started to love it. Yeah, my dad has a pretty nice setup. And every year, my buddies will come over and play. Every year it's gotten better. And now we've kind of mastered it with like the boards and everything, so it's kind of the spot. Probably the lights. The lights were cool. We got all like the light poles and stuff, and then we got a warming house now too that we get dressed in, so it's pretty nice. Yeah, I know I've learned a lot. I think my first year I was pretty like nervous and stuff, and you gotta just really trust you as a player. I just go out there, have fun. Just be yourself. I know my first year is kind of tough sometimes. You might like lose your confidence a little bit, but you gotta remember why you're picked for the team and for the league, and just be yourself and have fun with it. Because it's honestly fun. You're playing with your buddies, so you're not playing juniors away from home. You're at high school with your buddies, so yeah, it's fun. Last summer I made the Holinka team for USA, and we went to...
Ryder Donovan, I put a 15-minute buffer between periods, Mark.
Well, we're definitely going to have to get back to him. I mean, he's a special player, and everybody out there wants to hear from him.
Of course. Turns out the Zamboni is quick, and the ice set quickly. Oh, he hit the crossbar. Clevin off the crossbar. Play continues. We're still tied at 1. That's Berard. He goes on a guitar solo, plays it out. Slaggert, 5-hole, 2-1, Stars and Stripes.
Boy, Slaggert, nice job there, just posting up. Didn't waste any time with that one.
Slaggert buried that one, no doubt. Clafton was in position but couldn't get closed between the legs. Goes into the net. Team USA leads 2-1. I don't know if the shot counter on the board is accurate, but it's kind of low for 20-minute periods, Mark. 9-5, particularly with so much of it being played 5-on-4. You think these teams would register more shots on goal?
It is, and a lot of times, John, these games start a little bit slow, and then they really pick up as this goes on. North Team and Team USA, they're both skating 4 lines, so we're going to have fresh legs throughout the day here, but expect this one to pick up as this day rolls on.
All right, so we've got a real good flow going. Both teams now 5-on-5. That latter half of the first period was a little choppy with a lot of penalties both ways. If you're coaching either of these teams, Mark, what would your comments have been to the Charges as you had that 12-minute break between periods? Smolonic with the clean rip. He comes in all alone, and it's a huge save by Clafton to keep this one 2-1.
Boy, huge save by Clafton. And John, what I'd tell him is you just got to stick to your game here a little bit. If you're the North Team, obviously you want to avoid the odd man rushes because we've got a lot of skill out here on Team USA, and just stay poised.
Big hit there. That's Gleason, one of the smaller players, standing up the player from Team USA. It's interesting, the National Team Development Program. They seem to have a small player every year. This year it's Danny, like we mentioned. They had Rocco Grimaldi in the past. But for the most part, this is a team that not only are advanced players for this age, they're looking for big players as well because they play a full junior schedule, a lot of USHL teams.
They do. It's a real grind, and they get in there with guys that are bigger, older, and probably stronger. And by the end of their year, they're pretty seasoned, these guys.
And that's why in a year they're expected to play NCAA Division I college teams. So, Mark, we've talked a lot about the red, white, and blue today, but I think the rest of this, we're going to talk about what a great setup it is for the Upper Midwest High School Elite League. We're actually going to air that interview with Glenn Andreessen between periods 2 and 3. And you and I want to talk about what this league's about. I wanted you here as a color commentator because I want to hear you describe what it is the kids in the yellow are experiencing, because it's a much different lifestyle experience than shipping off to Michigan and living there for 2 years.
Well, absolutely. I mean, these are the best 16, 17, and 18-year-old collection of hockey players in the country that play in this league. You can be a multi-sport athlete and play in this league. Brendan McFadden, who plays on Sean Toomey's Southeast team, is also a football player. He scored 5 touchdowns last night for St. Thomas Academy.
5 touchdowns. So I'm watching the news last night, 10 p.m. It gets about 10:30. 80 yards to the house, Jake Boltman. Boltman, he's playing football for Edina High. We'll see Boltman tomorrow. So you've got a player there, 5 touchdowns for St. Thomas, and that's a football power. And then Boltman, he's playing high school football. For kids to be able to play, prepare for college hockey and even beyond, and not miss out on things. Oh, and it's 3-1. Team USA on the back door. I think it's Beniers. Believe that's Beniers that buried that one. They lead 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, all 3 of their goals, guys getting the puck on their stick and not wasting any time.
I'm sorry, it's Bordelot again. So Bordelot puts them up 3-1. So as you were saying, was it McFadden? 5 touchdowns?
5 touchdowns last night.
5 touchdowns.
And back out here today, playing on the Southeast team.
Southeast team had a game, I think, at noon. They're on the other sheet. And then I think they go down to Shattuck St. Mary's. So what this league is, Mark, is an opportunity for kids to play the highest level competition. You have an example of that right now. Team USA flies here to play Minnesota High School All-Star teams. And they get to augment the traditional high school schedule, which is just a winter sport in Minnesota. Just a winter sport.
You bet. So guys that play in this league are getting 50 games. They're staying home. They're getting exposure. Every NHL team has got folks that watch this. Every Division I college team watches this. USHL, North American Hockey League. Everybody's tuned into this.
And we'll get back to the Elite League and what that's about. You and I are going to start out the second period break talking a little bit more about that, go into deeper detail. So I think we've teed that up pretty well. Want to give a shout out to Jack Conley. He's watching back home in Florida, and he gave me a very comforting note a moment ago. He said, love the stream. Donovan seems pretty cool. So he was able to see the between period feature and the streams coming through. Apologies for any of you that may have seen the first period was a little sketchy. We've been trying to iron out some internet issues, but we're not alone. It happened at a college game yesterday. The internet went out for one of the buildings, and Flow TV was down for a good portion of the game.
Yeah, it's a real critical point in this game right now. 3-1. North has got to stay poised.
Next goal is a big one. You're right. We play 20-minute periods in the Elite League. Minnesota High School is a 17-minute period. So these are long games. You're not out of it if you're down 2 goals, but getting to a 4-1 margin would be a dagger. It's 3-1 Team USA. 2 goals by Bordelot. The other one was by Slaggert, and Minnesota North. They're going to want to make sure they find a way to get this next one.
Yeah, just struggling to generate good scoring chances right now.
Nice play there by Payne, standing up someone as they left the zone. You know, in the days when you and I played, a lot of times, you know, we were told to get them before they got to the top of the circle. More modern game, they're saying, hey, try to get them around the blue line. I've talked to a player that's been in the pool, kind of the tryout pool for the Team USA, and you know they're talking about maybe even taking them at the red line. Don't let anybody up ice. Here you have Frederick Hunter Payne standing him up the blue line. It was the blue line as he left the zone. That's pretty aggressive defense.
Yeah, these defensemen are such great skaters these days that they can make defensive plays anywhere on the ice.
The puck gets knocked down and cleared to the sidewall, chipped up by Middlestat, but can't clear the zone. It's 5-on-5. Peart takes a nice backhand pass over to Gotts. Gotts is going to try to bring it up near us. He's got Gleason on the wall.
We've got the all-Metro line out here. Let's see what they can do.
Pino Nemi. Gleason shot down to the end wall. It goes behind the goal, and it's picked up by Sanderson. Sanderson out to the neutral zone, but a nice play there to break it up by Gleason, and battling along the wall in front of the benches. They play it to Truscott. Truscott with one last pass. He found number 39, Dylan Peterson. Peterson makes this one 4-1.
Boy, there's nothing that Clafton could do on that one. That's just a great a great setup, great finish.
Yeah, goalie had no chance. Nice goal there by the Stars and Stripes. They have now opened up that larger margin like we talked about. It is now 4-1. Gleason struck first. A very, very encouraging start for Team North. But since then, it's been Bordelot, Slaggert, Bordelot, and now Dylan Peterson. He makes this one 4-1. And we've still got 15 minutes to go in the second period.
We do, and again, games can get interesting out here. No lead is really safe in the Elite League when you have this many skilled hockey players. So let's just let's see how this thing rolls.
I've talked to some people about the Elite League games, and they talk about the high scoring. You have such high skill level, both forwards and defense. Sometimes the goalies get hung out to dry, kind of like a NHL All-Star game. You know, they're great goalies, but, you know, it's just so much firepower on display. And we've got an example of that right now where it's already 4 goals, and we are in the early going of the second period. Stars and Stripes on top. It's very important for Team North to get something to settle this down and start clawing their way back.
Yeah, Team North digging their heels in a little bit here.
You mentioned a Metro line earlier. As players have gotten injured over the year, it was important to get a couple fill-ins for this game, and they have replaced the injured players for Team North. Garrett Pinonimi is a junior out of Holy Family High School, committed to the University of Minnesota and on the NHL watch list. He's expected to be drafted this year. Gleason in the middle. I'll take Gleason as one of the top uncommitted players in the world that's planning on playing college hockey. He's an 11th grader at Cretin-Durham Hall, and Middlestat, an 11th grader at Eden Prairie, the middle brother between Casey Middlestat and Luke. This is John, right? John?
That's correct. Absolutely. I mean, Matt Gleason, he's been to the national camp 3 times. He's the leader, or one of the leaders, on his Cretin-Durham Hall hockey team.
And back on defense right now, keeping the Stars and Stripes at bay. That's number 2, Mike Kester. It's spelled Koster, pronounced Kester. He is wearing number 2 today. Scoring chance here for Moore. Moore shoots that one right into the glove of Camasillo. Great scoring chance there on the turnover, and denied. We're still at 4-1.
Great scoring chance. Great effort by Moore there. Kept his feet moving.
So I mentioned Kester. Kester's also on the NHL watch list, and you mentioned the scouting. You have scouts here all the time, and a good performance at any level can help increase your draft stock. The high school Elite League gets games against the various teams, all-star teams of Minnesota, some players from North Dakota, Wisconsin. They're going to play Shattuck St. Mary's multiple times, and then chances for these kids to play against Team USA. So there's no need for these players to move and play for higher visibility. You can't get more visibility from college and professional scouts than you get in this league.
No, this league is so well respected and so well thought of, and NHL scouts and college scouts out there know that if you're seeking Minnesota talent, this is where you go.
Bordelot, he's got 2, looking to add to that. He skates through the neutral zone, played off nicely by Rasmussen, and Rasmussen's getting a little testy in the neutral zone, whacking away. Donovan with a breakaway. 5-hole Donovan. Mark, what did we say? They needed to get something to claw back into this game, and then the top NHL prospect in Minnesota, Ryder Donovan, streaks in, steals the puck, comes in all alone, and goes 5-hole.
There he is. I mean, he's been doing that all year in the Elite League, and he's done that throughout his high school career, where he's the guy that responds.
It's interesting. Last year he played on a line with a player named Garrett Worth. Garrett is college committed to Arizona State, and he was the goal scorer. So Ryder Donovan, with an early commit to North Dakota and being discussed as an NHL prospect at 6'4", skates like a dream. His point total was really skewed. He had a couple goals and a bazillion assists, and now that he's playing with different line mates, Worth no longer is liney. He's stepping up and he's scoring a lot more goals. Nice play there to clear. There's almost another goal for Team USA. We're at 4-2, 13 minutes to go in this period. On the forecheck is Gleason. Gleason gets bodied off the puck, draws a penalty, comes out of the corner and tries to throw this one up top Cheddar, but it goes just over the crossbar.
Great effort there by Matt Gleason, fighting for that puck, drawing the penalty.
It's interesting. We've got a power play opportunity. If you had to draw it up, if you fell down 4-1 and you said, hey, what do we need? you'd say we need to get a turnover to trigger our star player going in a breakaway, and then we need to get a power play to capture the momentum. If they score one here, we would be in the middle goings of the game, and they would only be down by 4-3 margin.
Yeah, I mean, just with the talent that plays out here, that just no lead is safe in this league.
And I think we have a timeout called. Interesting play to use the timeout. I'm assuming it's Clafton that burns the timeout at this point. Let's look to see when they break back who the personnel is, because great opportunity here for North to get the margin cut in half. They trail 4-2.
Yeah, they again back to that response by Ryder Donovan. Great scoring chance, and that's what you'd expect from one of the top players in this league.
Yeah, so Ryder Donovan has played for the most part on a line in this league with Blake Biondi from Hermantown and Landon Langenbrunner from Cloquet. For those watching in our national audience, Donovan's at Duluth East High School, Blake Biondi's at Hermantown, and Landon Langenbrunner at Cloquet. I could start at one school, drive to the second and the third, and probably do that in just 15 minutes. I mean, these are adjacent schools.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is a neighborhood team. These guys know each other. They've been competing against each other since they were kids. This is area code 218.
Reppin the 218.
Reppin the 218. There's a lot of pride up there. Obviously, that's hockey. That's hockey town.
It was a good hockey community when you and I were high school age, but it's even better now. University of Minnesota Duluth, NCAA champions. Yeah, Duluth East, they were state runner-up, lost in the state championship game, beat a very high-powered Edina team before losing to Minnetonka. Hermantown has won multiple Class A championships, and it's really a remarkable hockey area up around Duluth.
Oh, it sure is.
Power play opportunity. Biondi, he fights for the puck but loses it momentarily. It's kicked over to Pert in the neutral zone. The personnel is Pert and Kester, and up front, Gleason's on the near wall, Biondi, and over on the far wall, it's Landon Langenbrunner. Interesting decision here. Donovan's not out. You know he's rested. They just called timeout.
Yep, look for him on the first change here.
Good point, out to the neutral zone. Here comes Strand. Strand wears number 49. He's from Alaska, the 49th state. And it's great to have players representing all over the United States. He's from Alaska. You can see Russia from there. And we're talking about this other community-based teams. 14 of the 20 players are from 3 high schools that are all within a shout of each other. So right. It's a really local versus national storyline here. I think it's a great storyline that kind of like Mighty Ducks 4, maybe.
Speaking of that, I mean, this is where the Mighty Ducks was filmed.
Puck goes down to the end wall. It's picked up by Clafton. Clafton leaves this for Gotts. Gotts picks it up, surveys the situation, skates up the middle and gains the blue line. He's out to neutral. Plays over to the partner Payne. Payne enters his zone slowly into the corner, throws it in the direction of Donovan. Donovan on the forecheck. He goes down. As you mentioned, Donovan is the one they use for the second half of this. He is out there joined by Lyle, and I believe that's Pino Nemi.
Yeah.
Pino Nemi, Lyle, Donovan, bounces over Donovan's stick. He leaves it for Lyle. Lyle bounces this down. Donovan in the corner. He's not going to lose many battles with that 6'4 frame. He plays it to Gotts. Penalty is expiring
here.
Both teams are now full strength, still 10 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the second period. Beniers enters the zone. Nice little hesitation move there to find Yoder. Yoder had a chance to make a last pass or the shot, chose the shot option. Clafton not fooled, he denies him.
Great save by Clafton, big target in there.
Well, let's get you a reset. We're coming up in the midpoint of the game. I'm John Connolly here. This is Upper Midwest High School Elite League action, Team North. Most of the players from the Duluth area. My color commentator is Mark Mackesy. Tommy Hench is doing a great job bringing you today's sights. And our producer that holds it all together, Joe Hench, is doing a great job. Want to appreciate your patience. Ran into some sketchy internet issues as we were coming on. But I think we're doing well from the reports I've heard. And we've got a half a game to go. It is Langenbrunner entering the zone, playing it to Pierce. We're coming up on the game's midpoint. It's 4-2 Team USA.
Yeah, a little better pushback by the North team, starting to get a little momentum.
Berard, he's committed to Providence, makes a rink-wide pass, but it's deflected nicely by Pierce. Pierce finishes him off, though, and that's going to be a penalty. Holding the call. So we talked about the momentum following Donovan's goal. They gained a power play. Now all of a sudden the tide shifts, and it's an opportunity for the Stars and Stripes to play some 5-on-4.
Yeah, and you know, the North team killed off 2 at the end of the first period, and so now we're at another key moment here where they've got to respond the same way.
Face-off's a stalemate, eventually popped over to Moore. Moore can't quite get possession of it, however, and it's kept in by the Stars and Stripes. Second time's a charm. Backhander from Rasmussen goes all the way down the length of the ice. Gavin Rasmussen will be our between-period guest. You'll see our interview with him taken at the Buffalo House. Entering the zone on a rush from the blue line is Eamon Powell. They get it over onto the far wall. This is Luke Tuck. Tuck's bodied off the puck by Payne, and Payne leaves it for Cochran. Cochran's pass doesn't clear the zone. It's the dangerous Bordelot taking it down to the end wall. Bordelot playing it over, I believe 49 is Hunter Strand. Bordelot, Strand, Tuck, and it's covered up. Nice play there by Clafton. He gets the mid on top of it. Little jockeying, little how you doing, to borrow a term from a friend. Thomas Bordelot became engaged with Payne. We get a face-off. This will come to Clafton's right. Still 70 seconds remains in that USA power play.
Yeah, Hunter Payne, a big guy, physical defenseman, out there clearing the way.
So Seth Appert is the coach of the National Team Development Program. Homecoming of sorts, as he is a Minnesota native. I think he's from somewhere around Cottage Grove near your office, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was the coach at RPI and had a lot of Minnesotans that went out there and played for him. And guys like Zach Schrader and Andrew Commerce said great things about him.
It's a neutral zone face-off. The U.S. is on the power play, but credit Team North. They've been very, very sound on the kill, and they've had to kill multiple penalties, so it's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Gallatin enters the zone, plays it over. This is Slaggert. He had the 3rd goal out of the 4. Played back to the point. Faber plays near wall to Gallatin. This one goes through the stick of Lyle. They can't quite get the break they need. 30 seconds left to kill for Team North. Gallatin was trying to get it backhand to forehand, and a great play there to break it up by Gleason. Gleason tipped it away at just the last moment.
Nice job, and a nice job by this entire unit in getting sticks and passing lanes.
Outstanding play here from Team North. Great play there. Kester paused a little bit. That's going to run out most of the remainder of this power play. There's 8 seconds left. They'll soon get a full 5 players out there. Credit Team North with another great penalty kill.
Yeah, excellent penalty kill there. Real nice patience.
Stretch pass out to the neutral zone. Gotts breaks it up, however. It bounces to Yoder. Yoder had Smolonic if he could find him quickly. Didn't manage to get the puck over, and crisis averted for Team North. They'll try to break it out in front of the benches. It's a rink-wide pass coming over near us. Donovan chips this one ahead. A little bit too far for Biondi. It's stolen by Clevin. Danny in the neutral zone. Short pass. He enters in offside. We get a whistle. Face-off comes in front of the Team USA bench.
So it'll be interesting to see what the North team comes back with after that big penalty kill, but so far steady as she goes for them.
Power play coming up here for Team North. Breaking it up slowly is Jack Pert. Pert, as I mentioned, youngest player in today's game. He is just 15 years old.
Yeah, very promising future for him.
Dino Nemi shoots this one just high. It's actually Daniel Janiev that went off. 2 minutes for tripping, giving Team North a power play. Janiev played last year for the New Jersey Titans in the 15 league of the North American Prospects Hockey League. Funny part about that, homecoming of sorts, that league's based out of Blaine, Minnesota at the Super Rink. So this is yet another trip for Danny to the Twin Cities.
Absolutely, chance to get back and see family and friends.
Back behind the goal, this is Pert. Pert, he's got just 1 minute remaining in this man advantage. Stretch pass to Donovan. He kicks it from the skate boot over to Landon. Landon's drop pass doesn't connect. Hunter Strand over to Berard. Berard back to Strand. Here comes Pert. Pert back to Gotts. Gotts to Donovan. They gain the zone, and Donovan flutters one up on goal. Drew Comasio says, I'm just going to hold this one for a moment. We're going to get things to slow down with a stoppage and a face-off to my left.
Well, this is a big face-off here. You've got a couple big guys out there, and Biondi and Donovan. So let's see if we can't win this thing and get some traffic in front of the net.
Still 40 seconds to go in this power play. Kept in by Payne. That's big there. Otherwise, another 15 would have rolled off. Working out of the corner, here's Donovan. Donovan's got a big frame. He's hard to move. 2 white jerseys, however, they managed to gain the puck, and it's a nice breakout pass. Bordelot is all over the play. Wherever he goes, the puck seems to come to him. He does a great job staying active.
Yeah, he's real skilled, plays with a lot of poise.
He's been outstanding. Bordelot so far this season, 1 goal and 5 assists for 6 points in 6 games. So he's a point-per-game guy, and their competition to this point has been a lot of North American Hockey League teams. Boom, we are now 1 second to go when Blake Biondi gets the power play goal. That's a huge one, Mark.
Well, that's what you'd expect. I mean, you had 2 of your big guns out there, and you knew it was just a matter of time before he got on the board. He's the leading goal scorer in the Elite League with 18, and he just made it 19 there.
Leading goal scorer in the Elite League, and we mentioned earlier, they call it the Final 40. They bring 40 skaters and some goalies to the final tryout for the Stars and Stripes team. He did so well there, he was extended an offer to play for the National Team Development Program. He said he'd rather play high school hockey for Hermantown, be a part of the high school elite league, which he's playing in and doing very well as their leading goal scorer. And he's chosen to stay home in Minnesota. Blake Biondi with a huge power play goal. Now it's a 3-on-2 opportunity. Over to Pierce. Pierce shot was going toward that top corner. Hits the defender's stick up into the netting, and it stays 4-3.
Yeah, great scoring chance there, and a nice job of tipping that one up over the net.
Mark, it's just been a dream scenario since the timeout. Donovan had the goal. They went on the power play. They didn't score the first time. They had a great penalty kill. Next time they got a power play, Biondi gets the goal. Now it's 4-3. It seemed like it had the potential to maybe get out of reach at 4-1, but we have a 4-3 game, and Team North, they're very much in it. We've got 5 minutes to go in period 2.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, there's a lot of veterans, and as we mentioned earlier, there's 8 guys on this team that played in the Minnesota High School State Championship game last year. So they're used to playing and battling back.
Yeah, and it was an interesting state final. Minnetonka just could not be denied, and they were the state champions. We're going to see a lot of players off that Minnetonka Skippers team tomorrow. We'll be back for day 2 of the Elite League versus the National Team Development Program.
Tomorrow will be a great matchup. A lot of skill on that Southwest team.
It's chipped down to the end wall, and in pursuit is Moore. The puck's run toward the blue line, and nice rink-wide breakout pass. Bordelot, and it's a huge hit on Peterson. Manages to take away his momentum. Puck is controlled, however, by Thomas Bordelot. How many times have I said that today?
Yeah, he's all over the place here. And I really like the North team really playing scrappy here, picking up the physical play a bit.
And that's one of the things within the state of Minnesota, the state of hockey, if you will. There's a regional difference where the reputation of playing Northern hockey is maybe a little bit more of that grit, little sandpaper, and they think that the suburban kids from the Twin Cities might be soft.
Yeah, it's oftentimes it's there definitely is a difference in style. It's finish your checks, go hard to the net. I mean, every team does that, but particularly so up there.
Nice cycling. It's 5-on-5, but they're managing to set up some real good zone time, working around the perimeter. Now bounces out to the neutral zone where it's gathered up by Payne. Payne chips this one down with the backhand. It's Comasio behind the goal. Plays it over to Faber. Faber with a counter move. Didn't fool anybody. It's a very good forecheck here. Out with Middlestat is Donovan. Looks like they've changed up some line combinations with all those penalties, and things seem to be working very well for Coach Clafton.
Yeah, I think you'll see. Donovan Biondi here running together the rest of the way.
Donovan is out with Biondi, and is that Landon? Yes, Landon. They look across. Janiev. Get another timeout. How many times do you see a hockey game where both teams burn their timeout in period 2?
Yeah, this is, again, I mean, this is the way games can play out in this league. There's just so much skill out here that regardless of who you're playing, it doesn't matter whether it's a team in the league or Team USA that comes in here. No lead is safe.
So, Mark, we were going to talk about some things about the Elite League between periods, but let's get started with that right now. The Upper Midwest High School Elite League develops and showcases elite-level high school hockey players in a venue which allows them to stay in their communities and further their academic and athletic communities. I'll also throw in a layer of a social benefit. You mentioned playing high school football for McFadden and Jake Boltman, who we'll see tomorrow. Being able to live with your family, being able to socialize with your same circle of friends in school, you know, being the BMOC and having the social life, going to those homecoming dances, that's an opportunity that these players in the Elite League are afforded.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's 4 years of high school hockey, and for some of these guys, it could be 2 and 3 years in the Elite League. It's special.
We'll talk a little bit more about the Elite League on the period break. 3 minutes to go in period 2. Face-off is controlled. We'll look to see if that timeout called by Seth Appert and the NTDP is going to change the momentum. They've kind of lost a little bit of the control of the momentum, although they do still enjoy the 4-3 lead.
Yeah, this has been, again, down 4-1. This has been a good response and a good pushback. Big power play goal with 1 second left to draw them a little closer.
Biondi steps into the face-off circle, wins it over in the direction of Donovan, who plays it back to the point. Kept in, and now it's streaking in. Huge save there. Did you see that sequence from Kester? The face-off was a stalemate. Eventually came to Donovan. He plays it to Kester. He chipped it toward the net, then he drifted in. And he took that shot from mid-slot and nearly got it through the mitt of Comasio.
I mean, Kester, he's got great instincts, great offensive skills, experience at the international level running a power play.
Drew Comesso, 6'1", 170 pounds. He's committed to Boston University. Offside the call. So, Mark, one of the things that I'll do, I appreciate everybody watching. We've got people watching from Florida and Alaska and parts in between. Would love to hear from you. I'll give out a number. You can give us a text message, and I'll check in with you guys when we come back from period 3. So if you're enjoying today's live stream, feel free to check in. This is John Conley. Send me a note, 904-652-4036. I'll give you that number a couple more times, 904-652-4036. Gallatin in his own end. He's got Bordelot stretching the passing lane and chooses a short option instead. Played back to Peart. Peart waits for everybody to tag up, chips it in, and eventually it bounces back to his stick, and now he's back on retreat. Chips this one out to the neutral zone. Powell takes it away. Could have been Gallatin. Nice communication there. Smolonic into the slot. Bordelot trying to finish off that Hattie. He's got 2 goals so far, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep scoring all throughout the season. He's been outstanding today.
Oh, huge save right there by Clafton.
Clafton, credit him for really getting things settled down. That's not the first huge save he's made, and as you mentioned, he had no chance on a couple of those goals in transition.
Oh, he's been great. I mean, he's been one of the, overall one of the better players in the league, running at a 90 save percentage. Been excellent this year.
90 save percentage in All-Star hockey is a lot. These are teams that have limited practice time together, and the types of defensemen that get included are often very high skill level. So you see a lot of pressure here. Okay, you see a lot of pressure here for the goaltenders in the Elite League. So a 90 save percentage in this is translate to a mid-90s in a high school league where you actually have defensive schemes built week-long, every week.
20-minute periods, high skill out here.
Nice play down by the end wall. This is the Pinonimi, Gleason, and Middlestat line. They had the first goal. This is kept in by Middlestat. Throws it down. Pursuit is Pinonimi. Playing into the corner, it's Truscott for the Stars and Stripes. Goes behind the goal, and they're going to bring it up in front of the benches. Rink-wide pass to Danny. Danny borrows some time and plays a slow roller down to Slaggert. We're into the final minute of period 2. Out to the neutral zone. Working the other way is Team North. Gleason plays it over to Pinonimi. Pinonimi's ridden off the puck, and I'm sorry, I think I got those two backward. Truscott coming the other direction. He's going to try the snapper. It's up into the mitt. Good save there by Clapton. 30 seconds to go in the second period.
I really like the way Hunter Payne's playing here. He's been physical out here, taking the body, making plays. Just a great presence for Team North.
So let's just remind everybody what our between period content's going to be. You and I will finish off our conversation on the Upper Midwest High School Elite League. We'll play the interview from Buffalo House with Gavin Rasmussen. Then we'll hear from Glenn Andreessen, Executive Director of Minnesota Hockey. If there's, oh, it's a turnover. Here comes Donovan. One-on-one. Fakes the move and tries to work free for a shot. Borrows some time into the high slot. The clap bomber doesn't materialize as Pinonimi hits a fluttering puck. I announce a lot of hockey games, Mark, and I always say the knuckle puck worked in the movie. It never seems to work. The puck always kind of flutters off to the corner or goes high.
No, that's, 1 in 100 maybe.
So the between period break was pretty short last time. I don't know if we'll have time for it, but the last thing we'll play after the Glenn Andreessen interview is a little bit from the Stars and Stripes for JJ game. Jim Johansson, a native Minnesotan, there recently was a fundraiser with NHL players playing from Michigan. We'll wind it down here. Just 5 seconds to go in the period with Mark Mackesy. I'm John Conley. The Henches boys doing a great job as our production team. And when we go to period break, Mark and I will finish our conversation about what the Upper Midwest High School Elite League is and how it benefits the players for Minnesota, Wisconsin, and North Dakota. One last gasp. That should do it. So, Mark, you are a board member for the Upper Midwest High School Elite League. It was founded in 2002.
Yeah, I mean, founded in 2002, and just a lot of great players that have come through since that time. Ryan McDonough, Jake Gensel, Sidney Crosby, guys that all played in this league at one point in time.
Zach Parisi, Nick Bukestad, Ryder Donovan, Mike Kester, Teddy Lagerbach.
Yep.
Yeah, we got lots of big names, and we'll see another team tomorrow. So we say it's mostly Minnesota, but there's also players from North Dakota and a few from Wisconsin. So there's, a dedicated Wisconsin team, and then there's about 6 more, 4 from the Twin Cities, 1 from North Minnesota that we see today up around the Iron Range in Duluth. Another one from the Great Plains would be Roseau, Moorhead, and some North Dakota players. So those 6 teams, plus Wisconsin, plus Shattuck St. Mary's. Tell us what a week in the life of an Elite League player looks like.
Yeah, so I mean, typically what you have is you'll have 2 games on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. And they'll play in the mornings and the evenings, and they'll get a great rotation, and they'll see each other several times a year. And as you'd mentioned, John, Shattuck's included in this, and the opinion there, and popular opinion, is that's the best competition Shattuck sees all year is when they come up here and they play in the Elite League.
And they'll play close to 15, 20 games. So the Elite League is recognized as the model program for development of young, talented players and maintaining what's really sacred in Minnesota, which is the community-based hockey. We're going to hear more about that in a moment from Glenn Andreessen. And this is something that is a way to gather the players. And as a result, we have all the Division I teams and all the NHL teams that heavily scout this level of play. Hundreds of Elite League players have gone on to play at every level of college hockey, winning both men's and women's national championships. That's right, there's a girls equivalent to the Elite League, and multiple Elite League players earn college scholarships every year.
And it's really, I mean, as we talked about earlier, John, this is heavily scouted, and every NHL team passes through this building at some point during the fall. I mean, this is really what you'd consider the gateway to the NHL for Minnesota high school hockey players. If you can come out here and prove yourself and produce in this league, there's probably a pretty good chance you're going to be able to do it at the next level and potentially at the NHL level.
Absolutely. So that's a little bit about the High School Elite League. You'll hear a little bit more about the Minnesota hockey model in just a moment from Glenn Andreessen. You're also going to see our between period interview with Gavin Rasmussen and with Mark Mackesy. I'm John Conley. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes.
Hi, I'm Thomas Porter.
I'm Gavin Rasmussen.
And we're the CEC Lumberjacks. And we're at the Buffalo House in Cloquet. So Gavin, let's play 2 Lies and a Truth. What you got?
First one is I have scored a hat trick in 1 shift. Another is I've broken 3 sticks in a game, and I used to think I was Spider-Man.
All right, well, I'm going to think about those, and we're going to come back to that later. All right, but my next question for you is, what's your favorite vacation spot?
I really like Yellowstone. It was a really cool place. I went there last summer, and I saw some wolves really devour a buffalo. So yeah, that was very fascinating.
You didn't do anything?
No, it was ways away. I didn't want to get eaten.
You didn't want to get eaten. Well, that's one way to survive, I guess. What's your favorite genre of music?
Ooh, I really like country music. You know, if Drunk Girl by Chris Jansen or Watching You by Rodney Atkins comes on the radio, I'm going to be singing the whole song loud and proud the whole time.
All right, that sounds pretty northern Minnesotan to me. Yeah. Well, Gavin, what's your celebrity crush?
Selena Gomez.
Why?
Have you seen Selena Gomez?
Well, that's pretty reasonable, I guess. What's the best thing about Cloquet girls, Gavin?
Well, they can hack out a cord of wood with the chainsaw and then look good in heels a couple hours later. They're just great.
That is very true. That is very true. I'd say so myself. All right, well, we're going to go to break, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, next one. Venue. All right.
I'm John Connolly here with Glenn Andreessen, Executive Director for Minnesota Hockey. Glenn, nice to see you.
Thanks for having me, John.
So this week's an exciting weekend. We have the U.S. National Team Development Program coming to play 2 games against Minnesota High School All-Star teams. They'll face the North on Saturday with a lot of players from Duluth East, and then on Sunday they'll face Team Southwest. You're responsible for overseeing the business side of Minnesota's community-based hockey model. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where the Upper Midwest High School Elite League fits in to your purview?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a long process, but the High School Elite League was really formed in a way to preserve and enhance the high school hockey that we already have had here for generations. And high school hockey is so important to youth hockey because those are what our young boys and girls aspire to. Someday, yes, they want to play for the Wild, yes, they want to play for a Division I college team, but really the first attainable goal for kids in Minnesota is to play for that high school team. They want to be a part of the state tournament. They want to wear their school colors. They want to be in these packed buildings in front of their friends and family. And so high school hockey is really important to inspire youth hockey players. And what the Elite League has done is it has provided a way to keep more of those high school players here in Minnesota and inspiring those kids once they get to their high school league team. So not only has it done that, but it's also provided a great method of development for these players. Instead of just 25 games, they're getting 20 to 25 games with the Elite League. They're playing to get noticed, get seen by scouts, enhance their game. And then when that season ends, they're onto their high school team where they're leaders in their school, leaders in their community, and leaders of their team. They're all typically the best players on their team. So they're getting such great experience in the Elite League and in high school hockey, and it just filters down through youth hockey. And like I said, inspires all these kids to want to keep playing and be a part of it.
So, Glenn, I'm a Minnesota native, and I've lived away for a period of time, and I'm familiar with hockey throughout North America. And it's hard to describe to people just how big of a deal the community model is and those high school teams that you talk about. And it's something that you and I know full well, the live attendance for good high school games, one NCAA teams. Hundreds, not dozens of views, but thousands of views when we have big high school games. So that's the path, I guess, from the community model. So hockey and how that is set up
that's really it. There's no free agency in Minnesota. You can't pick and choose based on, well, I know these kids over here that are going to be a good team, so I'm going to go over there, or this coach is really good, so I'm going to go over there. You play where you live, and what that does is it forces the associations where those kids are to really develop their players, because those are the kids they're going to have from the ages 5 all the way up to 18. So high school coaches get involved in the youth programs. The youth programs want to make their kids as strong as possible. So take a place like Hermantown. If they have a year where they don't have a great goaltender, they can't just bring in a goaltender from somewhere else. They need to develop a goaltender within their community if they want to have a good goaltender. So it really encourages that development. And then the other part of the community-based model is it's so inviting relative to other parts of the country. It's a very low-cost environment. We have rinks in every town, and so a kid can get into the game for a pretty low cost. And granted, it's not a cheap sport, but relative to everywhere else, you can play hockey for a fraction of the price that you would anywhere else, and that keeps kids in the game longer. It keeps that pyramid wider, so maybe the late bloomers or the top developing kids can all have that path onto the next levels if they're so inclined.
And that's really been the Minnesota philosophy, is that the wider the base, the higher the peak. And today's a good example of that. We have players in the Saturday game that turned down an invitation to play for the National Team Development Program. It's a great program. USA Hockey spends a lot of money in supporting and promoting and growing those players, but it's not the only path for elite players, and we have examples of that in the game today.
Absolutely, and the stats bear it out. If you look at Minnesotans in the NHL or Minnesotans playing Division I hockey, the majority of those players played high school hockey through their senior year. And the ones that didn't, almost all of them played at least some high school hockey. So the community model and the high school model have played a major role in getting those kids and then adults to where they are. And so, yeah, a kid can stay here. We have so much good competition, so many good teammates, so many good coaches, so many people, volunteers that support these kids all the way up from young ages through high school. So there's a lot of advantages to being here, and it's great to see that kids can stay in their communities, stay in their homes for as long as possible in a healthy environment, and then still be competitive at hockey.
Well, he's Glenn Andreessen from Ground Zero in the state of hockey. This is XL Energy Center, home of the Minnesota Wild. John Connolly, thanks.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys, we're back in the banquet room of the Buffalo House. And I'm going to go back to the two truths and 2 lies and a truth. And your 2 lies were what? 2 lies and a truth were what?
I've broken 3 sticks in a game.
3 sticks.
I've had a hat trick in 1 shift.
Okay.
And I used to think I was Spider-Man.
All right. Well, I'm going to say your 1 truth is you thought you were Spider-Man.
Yeah. You got it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. And, well, that's all we got for Gavin. Thank you for watching. Thomas Porter.
Gavin Rasmussen.
And we are back. John Connolly with Mark Mackesy, and we've got a great game today. Upper Midwest High School Elite League action. Team North trails 4-3 versus the Stars and Stripes Team USA National Team Development Program U17. Mark, this was a 4-1 game.
Yeah, this was a 4-1 game, and I mean, Team North, they're the guys that you would expect to score and respond have. And we started out with Gleason, and then Donovan, and then Biondi. So 3 of their top scorers have answered for him here today, and we'll just see what the third period brings.
Yep, Gleason had them up 1-0. Then it was 4 straight for the national team. Then it was, Donovan with that steal coming in on the short mini breakaway, sliding at 5-hole, followed by Biondi with 1 second left in the power play. What an exciting one that was. And that made it 4-3. The Horses are in the gate.
It is Biondi, Landon, and Donovan for the U.S. Slaggert out with Yoder and Berard for Team USA. Played out to the neutral zone. It's a pass from Biondi to Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner throws a little bit too hard for Donovan. Donovan throws down in pursuit, throwing it out front by Landon. Hits a skate. Biondi plays the point, looking for a tip down low. Peart was trying to get that one off the breezers of Landon. Landon was standing in the right place and almost had one going in off his body.
Yeah, great start here for the North team. Coming out, controlling the pace here early on.
Donovan's on retreat into his own end. Goes behind the wall against Slaggert, and now it's Biondi behind the goal along the end wall. Berard, he's got Latch drifting in, and great play there by Donovan to break it up. Drifting in was Tanner Latch, and he was lurking, waiting for that pass. Donovan's stick came in just at the last moment, forces the puck out of the zone. We get a stoppage of play.
Yeah, it's just going to be a lot of little things here in the third period. It's getting pucks getting sticks in passing lanes, tipping pucks, finishing checks, playing through men.
Smolonic pushes it down to the end wall, but it's controlled momentarily by Team North. Out to the blue line where it's kept in at the point. Nice play there by Sanderson. He gets it now back on his own blue line. D to Truscott. Sanderson, this puck hits a stick and bounces up the Latch. They're going to say he played it with his mitt as a neutral zone hand pass. Stoppage play right in front of us.
I think as that second period went on, the North team did a little better job of slowing the play down through the neutral zone, and we've seen that continue here in the third period so far.
Want to thank everybody for watching. John Conley here, broadcasting the Upper Midwest High School Elite game live on WatchingPuck.com. Thrown down to the end wall. Tanner Latch in pursuit. He fights a battle with Kester. Kester can't quite get possession of it long enough. Sweeping in is Matty Beniers. Nice play here from Pinonimi to break it out. He plays Middlestat. Pinonimi tries one last pass. Middlestat with a couple cracks at it. The puck's never covered, but we get the stoppage of play. They were trying to shovel this one over to Gleason. Pinonimi to Middlestat trying to find Gleason.
Yeah, that line has just continued to get better as this game's gone on. They seem to be finding each out there a little better than where they were at the start of the game.
And it's interesting when it comes down to sectional play in the high school season. That's a big deal in Minnesota in February. Middlestat and Pinonimi are on two teams both homing to knock off Minnetonka. That's a real strong section, so they'll continue to face each other throughout the season, but today they're teammates.
Yeah, that's a deep section. If you remember that one last year, Minnetonka found a way to tie the game up. There might have been a second.
Lagerlock, 3 seconds.
Yeah, and then they went on and won the state tournament from there, so they built off of that.
We'll see Lagerbach tomorrow. This is stalemate face-off, eventually pulled out by Powell. He chips this one up in front of the benches, but a great play to keep it in by Pierce. Pierce now at the neutral zone. I'm sorry, that's Anderson. Stretch pass in front of the benches and through the neutral zone. North doing a real good job right now about spreading out and finding nice passing lanes to maintain puck possession. Had a chance to talk before the game with some of the Elite League coaches. They talked about the importance of controlling the neutral zone, taking a page out of Team USA playbook. Nice if you can control the puck. The other team can't score if you have the puck on your stick.
Yeah, they've been real smart, especially the second half of this game. Tactically, they've done things very well. They're going to have fresh legs the rest of the way, skating 4 lines here.
Bordelot out with Yoder and Tuck. This is a line that's been very effective for the Stars and Stripes. Tip up the head to Rasmussen in the neutral zone. Little battle in front of the benches, and worth mentioning, both teams have already burned their timeout, so should this one be close down the stretch, you're not going to have the luxury of being able to stop, call the charges over, and regroup a little and get a reset.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's something that these coaches talked about between periods is if this one stays tight, here's what we've got to do under scenario A, and here's what we got to do under scenario B.
Jeanette in the face-off circle, pulls this one back to Pert. Played down into the corner. Jeanette fights a battle and gets knocked off the puck by Kelly. Good, strong forecheck. The yellow jerseys are just a swarming, really making it hard for Team USA to get a free stride with the puck. Down to the end wall, Pert, nice counter move. This time he chips it over to Jeanette in the corner. About 3 minutes passed in this third period. We've got 17 minutes to go in a very thrilling game this afternoon from New Hope.
Yeah, and both teams, I mean, just kind of feeling each other here a little bit in the third period. No great scoring chances on either end yet.
Pert and Jeanette working against Yoder. This pops over to Rasmussen. Rasmussen, nice smart play there to buy some time, and his pass hits more on the tape, but it kind of dribbles off his stick, chipped up onto the benches by Team USA. We're going to face it off right in front of their bench. Oh no, down at their end.
We're coming back here with Biondi, Donovan, and Langenbrunner.
Yeah, I think we're going to see them on heavy rotation through the rest of the game. Here's Mason out at the neutral zone. Mason surveys the situation and plays it up to his brother Landon. Landon throws this one all the way down to the end wall. Clement gets there first, however. He tries to break it out in front of the benches. Bernard with a very nice short pass, streaking up through the neutral zone. I think, is that Tuck? Entering it with a shot, steered wide by the goaltender. That's Clevin. Now it's Berard. Berard keeps the puck on his stick momentarily, but runs into Donovan. It's eventually turned over to the neutral zone. Here comes Langenbrunner. He's got Biondi. Langenbrunner, oh, he fanned on it. He was trying to find Biondi. Also at Donovan. Couldn't quite get that pass off of his stick. Play continues, and it's Faber looking to find an escape route.
Great shifts so far here by Team North with Biondi, Donovan, and Langenbrunner.
Clevin and Faber, 43 and 34. They're trying to find an exit pass. They hit a long pass up ahead to Berard. Berard fights a battle. He seems to be the only white jersey anywhere near the play, catching his line mates on a line change, waiting for some reinforcements to arrive.
Boy, I really like the way Payne's playing out here today. He's been the most physical guy on the ice, either team. I think his game is going to translate really well to the next level at juniors and beyond.
And you mentioned the next level for Frederick Hunter Payne. That's undetermined at this point. He's still college uncommitted, and as I mentioned, it doesn't take long to watch some of these players that are uncommitted. We mentioned Gleason earlier, Landon Langenbrunner. They're obviously going to play Division I college hockey if they want to. He just has yet to choose his school, and he's certainly going to do very well if he plays junior hockey next year before he arrives on campus.
He looks like a version of a Nick Sealer out here. Strong, physical, not afraid to stick his nose in there.
Pinonimi in the face-off circle. Draw one, however, by Team USA. Chipped down to the end wall. It's Smolonic. Played over to Middlestat. They can't quite find the escape route. Nice play by Pinonimi. Pinonimi, he's on the NHL watch list, showing his stuff here. This pass from Gleason just a tiny bit behind Middlestat. He ends up just chipping it down to the end wall. Trying to find Gleason in the slot. He couldn't quite connect on the pass, but Pino saw him in the sights. Oh, great save there by Clafton. Great save and good rebound control. He left it right in front of him, cleared it out to the side of the net. Keeps this one 4-3.
Yeah, he's real strong in there, very poised, making the first saves here.
This is WatchingPuck.com. I want to thank everybody for watching. During the high school season, Watching Puck will be the place that you can go to see which Minnesota high school games are streamed that day and where. But today we launch with a national team development program playing a great team from the league, the Team North, mainly out of the Duluth area, and a few Iron Rangers. Back to the action. 14:30 remains. Ricky Lyle, another great uncommitted player, plays it back to the defense. They throw it the end wall. A little tip so there's no icing, and forcing Team USA back into their own end, content to fight that physical battle like you talked about. This is a tough team. Lots of tough physical players from that Duluth area, and they're just swarming on the forecheck this shift.
Yeah, Ricky Lyle, again, a real good 200-foot player, plays an aggressive game, goes hard to the net.
I watched a summer game this year. It was a high school preview event, a chance for the kids to get some extra ice time with their teammates. And one NHL scout was just in awe of that grit, that tenacity. Loves Ricky Lyle, not an NHL scout, what am I saying? NHL agent, and he just loved Ricky Lyle's game and just talked about how he couldn't wait to talk to him with all those NHL scouts that agents talk to. Biondi gets around the defender, chips it over past Kelly. Huge save. He walked Kelly there. Beautiful play by Blake Biondi.
He's starting to heat up here.
Kelly got caught flat-footed. You are, as a former defender, maybe it didn't happen to you as much as it happened to me, but I remember my days playing defense. Sometimes when the puck transitions and you have to stop, you get caught flat-footed, and Biondi saw that, recognized it, and just a burst of speed, one quick stride, he got beyond him with a chance to score.
Just a great smart play by him.
Battle along in the corner, 2-2, 2 white jerseys and 2 yellow. That third yellow jersey comes in, and that's why the puck winds up onto the stick of Mike Kester. Kester, counter move. He's going to bring it out far side in front of Dylan Peterson, and it's a little pass back. Kester, now he headmans it to Langenbrunner. Kester very active this shift. You can see he's trying to get up in the play. Looks like Team North is really sending all the dogs out, trying to get this game tying goal in the third period.
That's the key. Just keep the push on here.
Peterson, saucer pass over to Yoder, doesn't quite connect, and down in the corner, Peterson battles with Biondi. Biondi's going to be tired by the end of this one. The player's lost his stick. Biondi working against Dylan Peterson. Peterson kept going for that headlock. Looked like some WWE.
Yeah, Biondi just standing him up there.
Jeanette tries to get around Faber, but can't. Loses the puck in the process. Slager plays this over far side. Great play here by Biondi to break up the play. Clevin has to go back behind his goal. This is Faber. Faber with his breakout pass. Tipped over to Tanner Latch. Now it's a battle. Rasmussen fighting Jeanette and Moore. Rasmussen, Jeanette, and Moore. Puck's into the net, but the whistle had been blown. It's an interesting line, Mark. Rasmussen, Jeanette, and Moore. 2 Cloquet Lumberjacks, 1 Duluth East Greyhound. This will be the last time you see them getting along on good terms. That's a huge high school rivalry. They'll play each other at least 2 times this winter.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, Cloquet and Duluth East, that could be a sign of things to come here as the season rolls on and we get around state tournament time in February.
So, Mark, what's coming up for the Elite League? I know there's Elite League playoffs, and then there's a big tournament coming up first weekend in November.
Yeah, there's a tournament the first weekend in November, and that's kind of the year-end showcase where teams come in, and the Elite League puts together a couple all-star teams to face that competition.
So it's like a team from Switzerland, I think, is Red Bull, and then I think Shattuck St. Mary's is going to play, and a team from the Tier 1 Midget League, and a real good event with an international flavor as the Canadian team's coming down as well.
Absolutely, and that, end of the year, that's when these guys are really kind of hitting their stride, and special weekend up here, that's for sure.
Well, we've got 11 minutes to go, so we're coming down to the last half of the last period. We've kind of got all the particulars out. We've given a lot of mentions to some of the players and touted what the Elite League is. Let's focus on the game for the last 11 minutes. We've got a great one for you, folks. 3-4 is the score. Team North trails by 1. It's a 3-on-2 opportunity. Entering the zone is Hunter Strand. He takes this one wide, circles behind the goal. Hunter Strand bodied off the play in the corner, and they're breaking it out Middlestad's direction. Middlestad buys some time and plays it over to Cochran. Cochran steps up into the play, gains the blue line. Snapper gets deflected by defender Powell, never makes it to the goaltender, but the Team North has gained the zone, and now they're setting up their forecheck down along the end wall. Pino Nemi fights a battle with Gallatin. Puck pops off of his stick. Breakout opportunity for Team USA. They manage to successfully find Strand. Strand through the neutral zone. He hits Beniers. Beniers is bodied off the puck. The physicality is really increased the deeper we go into this game.
Yeah, Hunter Payne, once again, he's the guy leading the way.
Strand battling with Cochran. Pops it over to Beniers. Beniers pulls it out. Oh, pass doesn't quite connect, but you can see a parting of the sea. All the yellow jerseys were over far side, and 3 white jerseys down, drifting close to that slot area. Gallatin in the neutral zone. Snap pass over to Powell. Powell enters the zone but loses the puck. This is Kester. Kester shovels it over in the direction of the right wing Pierce. Pierce through the neutral zone all the way to Lyle. Lyle entering. Passes it back to Anderson. This is a Duluth East and Hermantown line. It's neat to see 9 of these 12 forwards go to 3 high schools up in northern Minnesota, and they are holding their own here against a team that's literally picked from all over the United States.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have competed against each other growing up in high school. Obviously fierce rivals, but today they're gonna play this one out right to the end together.
Tanner shoots that one just over the goal, and play continues out at neutral. Now it's Kelly back into his own end. 9 minutes to go in this game. Turnover, great forecheck here. Beautiful play by Anderson. It hit his skate and goes down into the far wall. Anderson works with Pierce. They're going to just muck it up down low, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a grit goal here tie the game. You're seeing a definite uptick in the intensity, the physicality, line after line from the boys in yellow.
Yeah, and I believe this is Team USA's 7th game. The North team in the Elite League, they're at game 16, I believe, and so we'll see how this thing plays out and who's a little fresher at the end.
Mason Langenbrunner recognizes the boys are getting tired, dumps it down to the end wall and goes off, completes the line change. Now we get some fresh legs out for Team North, and it's Landon Langenbrunner out with Biondi, and over far side is Donovan. It's a shot from Langenbrunner. Looking for a rebound there was Ryder Donovan, and he was banging right on the doorstep. Nice play there from Camesso to get the cover. I keep mispronouncing it, but it's Drew Camesso with the save and the cover.
He's been strong as well today.
Want to thank everybody for watching. We've had good, strong viewership. It's been a few years since Elite League has broadcast any game. Mark, oh, it's a bad bounce off their own defender. Almost an own goal off of Brock Faber. Somehow Camesso makes the save and play continues. That would have knotted it up at 4.
Well, and it's that Biondi, Donovan Langenbrunner line.
Finally, Team USA breaks it out through the neutral zone. It's Berard. Plays it back to Slaggert. Intercepted, however. Nice play there on retreat by Biondi. Clevin. Pass doesn't connect. It goes the length of the ice. We get an icing call. We're going to bring it back down in front of Camesso. 7:38 remains. 4-3. It's been a while since we've had a goal.
Yeah, this is a little bit back and forth here. Both teams playing tight defensively. Not many great scoring chances here in the third period. I expect this thing to open up in the last 5 minutes.
Well, it'll be interesting. Both teams, as we've mentioned, have burned their time out. So trying to get a goaltender out, if we still have a 1-goal game, might be pretty interesting, as if there's no stoppages, they're going to have to communicate this from the bench to goaltender Clafton. Still plenty of hockey to go, though. We've got 7 minutes to go in the third period. Snaking into the slot with a point-blank shot from Strand. Good pressure here from the Stars and Stripes. Berard can't keep the puck going forever, however. Puck pops out to Jeanette. Jeanette enters, looks to go on a give back to Moore, but it hits a stick and they lose possession. Payne throws it down to the end wall. Here's Faber. Faber working with Clevin. Clevin short pass to Faber. Faber breaks it out. Stretch pass out to the neutral zone. Bounces over Danny's stick, and we get an icing call.
So here we go. I mean, these face-offs, as we head down the stretch here, are going to be key. So we'll see what play the North team may have set up. We'll see what Team USA may have to stop them.
Want to thank everybody for watching. We've noticed the number of viewers is picking up the deeper we get into this game, and good reason why, as it's 6:49 to go, 4-3 the score. I'm a little confused. I thought both teams had used their timeout. Is there some second timeout I didn't know about?
Yeah, that's interesting, John. We're looking over at the Team USA bench, and Coach Appert is fairly animated, giving us some specific instructions over there.
Maybe that's why they were so cavalier about calling timeouts in the second period, knowing that they would have another one. Just trying to think which rule book they're using. This is under USA Hockey jurisdiction, and I think it's coded in as, are they using the midget or the junior rule book, do you know?
Boy, that's a good question. I would think that with Team USA playing in the junior league.
Might be using the junior rule book for your league, right? 20-minute periods. Anyway, we've got a great one. So what are your thoughts? You know, you know a lot about the Elite League as a board member. You've seen this team week after week. But what are your thoughts about the matchup today, and who's really stood out for the team in yellow?
Well, I'll tell you, kind of the guys that have been sort of the lead dogs throughout the year. Matt Gleason stepping in and filling in. Ryder Donovan obviously doing his thing. Biondi doing his thing. You know, on the back end, I really like the way Payne has played. I like the way Pert has played.
and obviously Clafton in nets.
Yoder's in the faceoff circle with Pino, and it's a draw that's won by Team USA, but kept in by a pinching Kester at the point, and it's a good opportunity for the U.S. to establish their forecheck. Unofficial shots are 27-21, favoring Team USA. I think that's indicative of what an even game it's been. There was a little flurry with 4 straight goals, but they haven't had many scoring chances since. Down behind the end wall is Peterson. Peterson passes it over to Sanderson. Sanderson down into the corner. This is Janiev. Janiev snakes out with the puck, and he's having trouble finding some room to operate. He's a shifty one. Out to the neutral zone. Sanderson's pass into the skate boot of Peterson, but he plays it nicely up to his stick blade. His short pass, however, doesn't connect, and now it's Truscott trying to regroup out at the neutral zone. Truscott gets around Gleason and takes it down against the side wall. Oh, there was a defender had lost track of Team USA's forechecker, and somehow Smolonic drifted behind, and the Team North defenders weren't aware he was lurking down on that back door weak side.
Yeah, and you know what? They've done a nice job of not giving up the odd man rushes. Obviously, was going to be one of the keys here today, and they've done an excellent job of preventing that. That's kind of the first, if you want to call it, breakdown in that area.
Smolonic in the face-off circle takes this draw. Biondi for Team North, and it's won by Team North. Breaking it out our side to Landon. Landon lofts it out to the neutral zone. He was trying to hit a stretch pass home run to Donovan. The puck just never arrived. Smolonic now has to fend off Donovan. Donovan's very strong in pursuit. Pass up ahead to Beniers. Turned over, however, and that one doesn't connect. Landon tried to take the pass from Biondi, and Latch gets in the way. Pert, Kester. Out to Landon. Landon, Donovan, and Biondi. We've mentioned that they're on heavy rotation here throughout the third period. This is a high-powered line looking to square the game. Landon trying to find a passing lane, get it over to Biondi, doesn't quite connect, and a regroup opportunity. Gallatin has to find a way out of his own end. Can't quite get past Landon. Langenbrunner hits a skate boot, and Team USA was pinned momentarily into their zone. Mark, we're down under 5 minutes now in the game. 4:40 remains, 4-3 U.S.
Yeah, this is going to be key here. We're going to see, obviously, a full dose of Donovan and Biondi down the stretch. Obviously, you know, Kester, Gleason, Pino Nemi.
Bordelot plays it over to Tuck. Tuck gets it down on the end wall, plays it back to Bordelot. Bordelot shot gets knocked down. Transition opportunity. They spring Ricky Lyle. Lyle sprung very nicely there by Payne. Payne's been outstanding, as you mentioned, and it's a little unusual to see him uncommitted at this point.
Yeah,
he's certainly going to do very well in college hockey. Not just play Division I, but he'll be a welcome addition to any team.
Yeah, he's been the most physical guy on the ice here today. Big hits on most shifts.
Physical, skilled, and strong. It's a great combination. Comesso doesn't know where the puck is. Play continues. Eventually we get a stoppage of play. Faceoff's going to come to his left. 3:42 left. It's been a great game, Mark.
It sure has. I mean, this is kind of what you'd expect, and you know, this is recent history up here. As these games have been very close, as we mentioned 2 years ago. The Elite League swept. Last year, Team USA swept, and you know, we've got another dogfight here today.
You mentioned the sweep last year for Team USA. One, however, did go to overtime, so it was a regulation tie. Kind of wonder if we might have a repeat of that right now. Team USA had 4 straight to run out to a 4-1 lead, but ever since then, if you just came in when it was 4-1, it's certainly a game the vibe could go. The vibe has been that it could go either way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Team North tie this one up. They've still got 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to do that. Faber down to Slaggert. Slaggert looking out into the slot to Strand, but it bounces off his stick. Now we're going the other way. Moore tries to get around defender Faber. Moore down to the end wall. Leaves it for Biondi, but arriving just a tad late. It's played out in our direction by Slaggert. Nice forechecking. There's been more sustained zone time the deeper we get into this game. That forechecking scheme is really working well for Coach Clafton and his troops.
Yeah, his team's been real smart. They've been real patient. They're sticking to their game.
Kester comes out in our direction, and a nice breakout pass. He gets it up ahead to Moore, and it's dumped the length of the ice. Here's Smolonic. penalty upcoming. Interference.
Interference.
Clevin goes off for interference. Mark, if you're Coach Clafton, if you're one of the boys in yellow and you're on the bench, you're saying, wouldn't it be great if we can get something to tip the momentum in our direction? Maybe have it bounce off a skate and go through the goal, or maybe get a break and catch a penalty for a power play chance. And boom, almost on command, Team USA goes shorthanded. Opportunity for Pino, Gleason, and Middlestat. We get a timeout. Opportunity, well, no, it's Rasmussen, Pino, and Gleason with Peart and Kester. Going to be real interesting to see if they can knot the game here now that they have a power play.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been, again, they've stuck to their game in the third period. They've been patient, and drawing that penalty, no surprise here. They've been disciplined. They've been smart. They've been moving their feet.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one player whose name didn't come up yet today. Rotating goalies, it was Clafton's turn. Lukat Hansen for Duluth East, not able to get the start today. He's been very, very solid throughout this Elite League season as well. And, one of the many, many goaltenders in Minnesota that are attracting a lot of attention. I think the big reason is I don't think we've got many Minnesota goaltenders that are already college committed, and the colleges know there's some good ones, and they'll be keeping an eye on players like Clafton and Hansen throughout this upcoming high school season, as they've fared very well during the Elite League season this fall.
Yeah, he has done well. He's at 4-1 with a 3.17 goals against and almost a 90% save percentage. So you've got two guys that have performed really well in this league, and obviously a big part of their success to date.
And they're in first place in the Elite League. This is the team that's first place in the standings, and we'll see Team Southwest just 1 point behind them tomorrow. Power play is Pino Nemi, Gleason, and Biondi, Peart, and Kester. Peart being born in 2003, the youngest player in this game, and it's really tip of the cap to him for getting a chance to play in these critical moments. Very, very pressure-packed here. Power play, 2:36 remaining in the game, and they trail by 1. Trying to work this puck out of the skates and get it back to Peart. It's cleared, however, by Team USA, and on retreat is Kester. Kester's going to field this one from Carter Clafton. He's going to skate it right up the middle, and Team USA is going to try to clog that neutral zone. Nice little drop pass to Peart. Hits a skate and bounces over in the direction of Gleason. Gleason got us on the board early with the first goal of the game. He's out there right now looking to tie the game and get his second.
Yeah, he's scored a lot of big goals in his career, and you know what? Don't be surprised if he does it again here today.
Great play by Sanderson to get it up to Smolonic to clear the zone. They managed to alleviate the pressure. Still 79 seconds to go in Team North's power play. And we get a face-off coming right in front of us in the neutral zone. So, Mark, 1:19 to go on the penalty, 1:59 in the game. Between the 5-on-4 right now, a pulled goalie situation, it's likely that Corner Home Medical, the sponsor for Team North, it's likely that Corner Home Medical will be with a man advantage the rest of the way, because even after the penalty expires, they'll have a chance to get the goalie out and play 6-on-5.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Lyle down to Anderson, works Donovan. Back to Donovan. Out in front, they're trying to get pucks and bodies down low with that net front presence, and just in the nick of time, it's cleared out by Hunter Strand. He gains the neutral zone, slow roller down into the corner. It's picked up by Peart. Peart gains ahead of steam. Team USA changes some personnel, and with 1:20 remaining in the game, there's still 40 seconds to go on this man advantage. And we'll keep an eye over here and see if
Biondi just jumped on.
Oh, and he shoots this one just high. They still have the goalie, and I'm an advocate for getting him out sooner rather than later. I think 6-on-4 would be very hard for Team USA to clear the zone. 1 minute remains in this game, folks. We're down to 1 minute remaining in this game. Kept it at the point by Kester. Played over near wall to Anderson. Nice play there from Bordelot to break it up. Tuck throws it out to the neutral zone. Chance here, Bordelot looks. He thinks he would have an open net, but he sees Clafton hasn't left yet. 40 seconds to go. Penalties expired to Team USA. Just 40 seconds left. Stars and Stripes leading. Team North really down to the last gasp here with 35 seconds left. The goalie starts heading toward the bench. Kester enters the zone. Short pass doesn't quite connect, but bodies the numerical advantage. They're able to keep possession of it for a while. It pops out to the neutral zone. Empty netter narrowly missed here. 15 seconds left. They've got to find a way to get up ice, get a shot on goal, or this one's going to be a Team USA win. Here comes Payne. Payne, we've talked about how outstanding he's been. He tries to throw it down to the end wall, sends Donovan. 5, 4, 3. There won't be any shot. It's a Team USA win in a spirited, hard-fought battle. Credit Team North, Reppin the 2-1-8. What an outstanding game. Narrow defeat today. They lose 4-3. I think they really represented the Upper Midwest High School Elite League very well today. North American Hockey League teams have been losing regularly to Team USA. Now Team USA shows up in Minnesota against the high school all-star team. They're lucky to leave here with a 4-3 win.
Yeah, exactly. That North team got off to a great start, fell behind 4-1, battled back to make it a 4-3 game, and then, you know, it was a stalemate in the third.
Well, Mark, I've enjoyed calling this game with you. It was a thriller. I want to appreciate your time and really appreciate your efforts from the Upper Midwest High School Elite League, getting us an opportunity to do today's game. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, so why don't we close off with your final thoughts from today's game and maybe a little preview for what we can expect tomorrow. It's the same Stars and Stripes in white, and they'll be playing the Team Southwest, which is another high school all-star team from the Upper Midwest High School Elite League.
Yeah, I think, you know what, Team North, they've got to be real happy with the way they played. Obviously, it wasn't the outcome that they wanted. I think that they thought they had a great chance to win this thing coming in here today and felt they matched up really well. You got goals from Biondi, Donovan, and Gleason. Those are three of the leading scorers in the league. They got great goaltending today by Clafton. I thought it was just a great effort, a very well-played, smart game on their end, and obviously give Team USA credit. Coming in here, they're still early on in the season, kind of finding their way, maybe not knowing what to expect out here today. They also played well.
They did play well, and they are going to have their hands full tomorrow because Team Southwest has been very, very impressive. They're 1 point behind Team North in the standings, but they are far and away leaders in goals for versus goals against differential. They haven't just won Elite League games. They've routinely blown out some of these other teams. So we're going to see a high-powered offense tomorrow from Team Southwest. We'll have the Elite League's leading scorers, Rhett Pitlick and Liam Malmquist. We've got some great content between periods. We're going to have Mike Kester profile. We're going to have Glock and Doc. Charlie Glockner, goaltender for Team Southwest, interviewed by Grant Doctor, defender for Team Southwest. We're going to have another chance to run Glenn Andreessen talking about the Minnesota model and community-based hockey. Then we're going to have part 2 where we talk hockey movies, as well as Liam Malmquist, leading scorer. He was interviewed by our host, Gracie. That'll be our between-period content tomorrow. I will be on the mic for play-by-play. So just to wrap up here, color commentary. Mark, it's been a joy working with you. You've done a great job. Anything you want to say?
No, I'll tell you what, John, looking forward to tomorrow. Team Southwest, they bring in a lot of skill. There's a lot of Division I commits. That's going to be a fun one. Talented throughout, strong goaltending, great defensemen, and guys that can put the puck in the net up front.
For Tommy Henches, our camera operator, he did a great job today. And our producer, Joe Henches. Without him, none of this would have been possible. Thanks for your patience with us for the viewing team. And real credit to Joe for working with some tricky internet today. John Connolly signing off for Watching Puck. We'll be back same bat time tomorrow.